Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the
Peter.
podcast.
Sorry. I'm trying the intrusive thoughts take over sometimes.
Welcome back to the podcast, to Confetti Conversations. Here for another podcast, so roll the intro.
Hello, and welcome to Confetti Conversations,
the podcast where me and my sister talk all things weddings, wedding planning, and married life.
Right, so another podcast, but this time we're going a bit different from last time. Like we said, we're going to do bougie weddings.
Bougie?
Bougie. A little bit bougie. So, we don't have a lot of experience in bougie weddings.
I don't have the budget.
Well, yeah, and I wouldn't say that either of our weddings are particularly bougie. Sorry again if you can hear pitter-patter of dogs' feet in the background.
They're so happy.
We're just letting them play. But yeah, we didn't really have bougie weddings particularly.
I wouldn't say we're particularly bougie people.
No, we're not. It's like that clean girl aesthetic's just not me. I'm just not that girl. But we thought that we'd just talk about a few ways that we could make our weddings bougie. So there's obviously like easy ways to make your weddings like a little bit more bougie. Like you can have the content creator, for example.
Yeah,
I would call that a bit like bougie, you know.
Yeah.
That's another expense that you could pay for.
Yeah.
That would just, you know, make it a little bit more upmarket, I guess. Where you're just sort of adding that additional thing. Yeah, that just sort of brings the element up of it, isn't it? And like the type of videographer that you could choose again could make it a bit more bougie.
Length of videography.
Yeah, the option, the package.
Yes.
Like you can go for, there's loads of different packages.
Yeah.
You could go for the one that gives you everything.
Like a cinematic, full-on movie experience.
Yeah.
Or mine's a 10-minute highlight video.
Yeah, which like in reality, that's kind of what you need. Like I think
realistically, you're not going to watch more than a 10-minute video regularly.
Yeah, but it's nice to have. Like I think our long one is 20 minutes. But that was like the only package that he offered. Like, so you just did the whole thing.
Yeah.
But even having a videographer, I guess you could call it bougie.
Like a string quartet for your.
Well, if we went to music, for example, next, then yeah, you could literally do your entire.
Okay, go through your whole day where you'd add music in.
Where I would have added music in. So yeah, I would have done like a string quartet or some sort of band
live
thing,
music.
Or I would have done like the Love Actually, you know, the flash mob, the that I would have loved.
Yeah,
that would have been something I would have added in. So yeah, for my ceremony, that would be how I would have added in music, sort of like instruments, something like that.
A singer.
No,
you didn't. You could have had you had mum's choir, didn't you?
Yeah.
But you could have a singer whilst you're signing the registry.
Yeah.
Or singers as you're coming in.
Yeah.
People do that rather than instruments.
Yeah. I just had the organ, like the classic, but you could, like, we could have gone for more than that.
Yeah.
And then drinks reception. We could have, like, our band did a package where we nearly had them for the whole day, so like drinks reception and everything, and then stayed on for your evening.
Yeah.
It wasn't a lot more expensive, but just something that we didn't need.
No, you didn't. Yeah, you can do that, but then you can also add in a singer again.
A singer.
Also,
sax. You could do a roaming band.
Yeah. They do oompa bands.
Yeah, an oompa band.
I love the idea of an oompa band at your drinks reception. I've seen someone have it at my venue.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is an incredible idea.
Yeah. So much fun.
Would be so much fun. It's such a talking point, because do you think drinks receptions is where you can add the bougie?
Yeah.
Because they can be a bit boring.
They can. Well, it depends, I guess, on how many like couple shots you have, how long your drinks reception is. You can like add into your drinks reception.
I think as well, if in the drinks reception, the guests can see you having the photos.
Yes.
I think if for you disappeared.
Yeah.
We didn't see you and Sam until we were moving to do the group shot.
Yeah.
And then into the marquee. But you were in the drinks reception for a bit, don't get me wrong. But you went.
I felt like we were in the drinks reception for longer than we were out of it, but you
sort
of lose track of time though, don't you?
I think you were, but in some weddings where we've been to, the drinks receptions are really long.
Yeah.
You don't see the bride and groom
or
the bridal party.
No.
So say you're a close friend to the bridal party, but not in the bridal party. You're a bit like, well, where have all my people gone?
Yeah, and they sort of miss the drinks reception, and I love a drinks reception. I think
it makes or breaks the day.
Yeah.
I think you have to set the scene with a drinks reception, personally.
Yeah.
And that's why I like that ours is moving around.
Yeah. But like with the drinks reception, you can add a magician. You could add...
Yes, love a magician.
Like, you can add so much to a drinks reception.
I can't decide if I can afford it. It's getting a bit close now, really. I probably should know if I can afford it.
Yeah.
But would I have a singer at the drinks reception or a magician? Singer entertains everyone. Magician gets people like involved and talking. And...
My personal opinion would be a magician. That would be my feeling. But that's like, you know, it's completely your choice. I think, a singer... Yeah, again, you can have music on. Like, if you could do both, it would be amazing.
I just have another thing for a reception. Live artists.
Yeah, I love a live artist.
They're so cool.
Love a live artist. They are really cool. That is another addition to a drinks reception. Like, you can make your drinks reception so full.
Make your own cocktails.
Yeah.
That would be expensive, but add something.
Yeah. Or like you have like a specific, like somebody who would, like a bar essentially that is specifically a cocktail that you can personalize to yourselves, or like a couple of cocktails that can be personalized. Going back to the music, I think there's so much that you can do in a drinks reception.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many different types of music that you can add. Equally, like, you don't have to have it. Like, we didn't have it.
No.
But you definitely can up the ante with the music.
Yeah.
And I like the idea of like a roaming band that takes you from your drinks reception into
venue.
The venue, and then brings the bride and groom in.
That's cool.
Yeah, so then you could do that. So going into your meal, you can have a drinks reception. You can have a roaming band,
singing waiters.
I don't really like them. I loved the idea of them years ago, but then when I was like planning my wedding, it was just like it's just not for me.
No,
I loved it initially when I years ago, and I had a friend when I was at uni, and he was a singing waiter, and he did it and absolutely loved it, and like it was always a hit. But I think when I was at uni, it was a big thing.
Yeah.
Whereas it isn't necessarily such a big thing anymore.
No.
But yeah, so you can also have like a band set that basically starts after your dinner and like takes you straight on through the night. So you can have people that almost like sing you out of your dinner.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then you can like
into
carry on.
Hour.
Yeah, and then have a cocktail hour. We didn't have a cocktail hour. We went off and my evening guests arrived very early. They were at 6:30, which is how I wanted it, because I wanted to make the most of my evening guests being there.
I think I said 7. I haven't actually invited any evening guests yet, but we know who they are.
Yeah, you just need to physically invite them.
One of them knows he's coming, and he's like, "Can you just tell me where I'm booking a hotel, because I want to come?"
Yeah, that's sweet. But yeah, like you can sort of make that cocktail hour a bigger thing. Again, have more music there.
Yeah,
you can again have like a cocktail station, something that's going to sort of like bring the vibes up a little bit.
Yeah.
Make it a bit more of a thing, essentially. So that's sort of all the, I guess, up until your evening music, all the different things you can have. You can have a saxophone that sort of does the dinner thing as well.
Yeah.
Wanders around. That's what I wanted, was a saxophone at like the meal time. Like sort of bringing the vibes up, bringing you out into like the drinks afterwards. That was sort of what I wanted to go for. But we ended up just like, we had our band in the evening, which was like, we loved them and they were amazing. But like, had I have had money, like having a saxophone would have been the one I would have gone for.
Yeah.
And then again, like your evening band, you can have like a band where you have like 6-7 people in it, or you can sort of have like the smaller bands. Like obviously you pay, the more people are there. And there's like different companies that do different levels of what you can have. So you can have like right from the super like big bands who do everything down to the little just like 2-piece people. Like it just depends what you want.
Or a DJ.
But then
DJs can vary in price as well.
Yeah, and what DJs bring. Like I've been at a wedding where a DJ did like games and stuff. Like they did Mr. and Mrs. They did like a dance competition with the boys. Like that, you know, everybody can bring something different, but obviously there's a price bracket
100%
for each thing.
Yeah.
So I think music is something that you really can up the ante on.
Yeah.
And you can make it really big with
Yeah,
music.
absolutely.
What else can we add to the bougie? Obviously, decorations.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can have a styling company that will come in and make it this incredible scape, you know, no DIY. Like, I think if you're going bougie, you're probably not DIYing.
Yeah. Well, no. But to have the real bougie.
Yeah, to have like the huge flower arches, the
Yeah,
big
the pedestals, the big table
scapes,
things.
like
yeah.
having the coloured tablecloths, the like the charger
Charge plates, yeah.
the cutlery, like having
Yeah.
it all matching and making it all like this really big sort of event. I think to do it well, in a bougie way, I would say you probably want a styling company.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
And you probably want to sort of go for like the maximum package they do.
Yeah.
And like have to make it that like really grand sort of look. You probably are going to want to have, you know, the big flower arches and the big installments, and not making it look overcrowded, just making it like a real event. That would be sort of what I would do anyway if I was going like super bougie.
Yeah, like the light up letters.
Yeah.
The different dance floors.
Yeah. Having a stage put in, having the production, the lighting.
Cold sparks.
Fireworks. Like all of those kinds of things. That's a lot to organise as a DIY bride or groom. Like,
and how much money are you actually going to save?
Exactly. You're probably better off taking the stress off yourself, having everything that you want, and having a company do it for you.
Imagine I don't think you'd be allowed to do cold sparks yourself or fireworks yourself in a venue. You'd have to have a recommended company.
Yeah. No venue would ever let you do that, I don't think. I don't think. But then venues. Choosing a venue, you can go, you know, for these really grand scale venues, like a manor house, or, you know, something massive, like a giant marquee, like a glass marquee, like all these things that for me I would never have even thought of, because I wouldn't be able to fill the space,
or even you wouldn't look at it because you just know it's not in your budget. Like I knew roughly what I wanted to spend. I was reviewing my budget the other day, and my venue is cheaper than I was expecting to pay. My food is slightly more because it's more than what yours was. So it balances out. So far, we are on budget. But we're getting to the point where things probably might go a bit like, you have some money, but
you kind of have to though at some point sometimes. Not like out of control, but you do kind of. There's a point where you just have to spend the money, and you've been saving it, and it's in your bank, and you're thinking, I don't want to spend it.
No, exactly.
But like to have the wedding that you really want, you kind of just have to go, well, this is it, isn't it really? Oh, she's got golden hour.
This is the thing every bride wishes for.
Yeah, the glow. Yeah, I didn't have golden hour at my wedding because it just
had rain hour.
It just rained. There was no sun peeking through.
I am hoping for every bride hopes for a golden hour. Don't you, those shots?
Yeah, but the photos are beautiful. Like where in my venue the photos would be incredible.
They would have been stunning.
But yeah, it just didn't happen. But it didn't it didn't change the photos. Like they're still perfect.
When you look at the photos, you just haven't got a sunset photo.
Yeah,
and realistically, you have one or two out of it.
Yeah. So venues, you can sort of really go for it, can't you? With the venues, make them sort of
and having like you can hire for rooms and things as well. So that makes it more bougie.
And extending the weekend, doing a full weekend, so doing like a proper party,
even extending your night by an hour. I think mine's like, to extend it by an hour is like 300 quid. So
but you can do like the Friday, say if you're getting married on a Saturday, for example, you can do a Friday night welcome party, have like most people stay in the venue, then you have your Saturday wedding, and then Sunday you can have like brunch or breakfast or you know, some sort of thing to keep everyone together, basically.
Absolutely.
So you have like the options within the venue to make it more, I guess. With bougie, it's not always about more, but it can be more.
Yeah, exactly. It's things like with the people staying over, you could put, and which I'd love to do, and I don't know if I could afford it again, it's like little gift bags in the room for each person. just with bottle of water, crisps,
Yeah.
little biscuits or whatever.
Yeah.
A thank you card for staying, like
Yeah.
that kind of thing. I think is really lovely, but it is bougie.
Yeah.
Because you can't afford to do that for
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
I'm lucky in the sense that everyone that's staying at the venue is bridal party.
Yeah.
So they'll already have had their presents.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
not giving them out again.
Yeah. No, but exactly, because you can make it like a whole event with everything branded, everything, you know, with your little logo on it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like creating those things isn't expensive, but buying every single person a bottle of water adds up.
Yeah, exactly.
And like doing like a hangover kit, for example, and things like that are obviously really appreciated, but the prices add up.
Yeah,
it's not cheap to do things like that.
No, it's not. And I think now things like that are going, like, I see a lot of the American ones and they buy for bridal parties either on the day or I think sometimes it's like, what do they call them, bachelorette parties.
Yeah.
They're buying people like individual Stanleys.
I know.
And like personalising them with
and like full skincare routine.
Hayley's hen do.
Yeah.
This mine's illiterate, like
not
illiterate. Alliteration.
Alliteration. Yeah. Not illiterate.
No, I'm illiterate.
Yeah.
But like if I could afford it, I would love to do that. I probably wouldn't buy anyone Stanley because they leak.
Yeah.
I'd buy my Aldi one because that works brilliantly.
Yeah.
But that's something that I would have liked to have done.
Yeah.
If I can afford it, I will, because it's something that I know everyone will use.
Yeah. But I wouldn't put like Hayley and Ellis's wedding on it. I would put people's names on.
Obviously, I want to put Hayley and Ellis's wedding on.
Yeah, I get it, but I think people are more likely to use things.
Yeah, like we had the key rings off you, which we all used.
Yeah.
Mine broke.
Mine broke.
I think everyone's broke.
Yeah.
But we used them.
Yeah.
And I've got my little purse.
Yeah.
That I use all the time.
Yeah. But like little things like that, but you know, I went for slightly cheaper options.
So they were lovely.
Yeah, you can go for the more expensive things and like do, you know, the big gifts for everybody and all that kind of stuff. Like, I got all of our parents a gift. So I think I got my mom, I can't remember if I got mom a bracelet, my mother-in-law a necklace, or vice versa. And then we got both the dad's cufflinks. I got the girls' earrings and bracelets.
I got an extra bracelet.
You did get an extra bracelet, and I got and then I got and then all the boys got cufflinks.
Yeah.
So we made
bottle openers
and bottle openers and hip flasks,
like everything.
But everything was like cheaper.
Was it all off Shein?
Yeah, but you could do it more expensive.
Ellis still uses all of his stuff now.
Yeah, but like most people do, and we did everyone's socks because I thought it was like a good way to make sure everyone wore the same socks.
Yeah,
and they all had like groomsman, best man,
yeah,
father of the bride, father of the groom. We did all kind of stuff like that. But little, like for us, that was inexpensive, but you can do it in you know, you can get all the beautifully embroidered
buy it all
ones.
from Etsy,
rather
than doing it yourself with your Cricut like you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's ways of doing it.
Yeah.
Ways and means.
And I think giving people the gifts and stuff like that obviously is lovely. So
and it was so nice on the morning as bridesmaids all open. I think I opened mine with you first thing.
Yeah.
Then watching everyone open theirs as they came up to the room was really nice.
Yeah, and I laid them all out so everyone was like, find your bag.
Yeah, but I think because of the girls already know anyway, because of the way where we're staying, we're all staying together, which I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah.
Like my last big sleepover as a single woman. Even with mom and dad, but I want to do like a proper like continental brunch, like breakfast.
Yeah, lovely.
With the mimosas, with the fruit, with the yogurt. Like I want everyone to be. I don't want everyone to think I've got to be skinny for the wedding day.
No,
like
you want to.
We're not that. We're not that group of girls. To be honest.
And I think at that point as well, for me, I was just like, I just want to enjoy myself.
Well, we went and had a proper breakfast, didn't we?
I wanted to eat because I didn't want to be drunk by 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I was getting married at 12 o'clock, but you know what I mean. I didn't want to be drunk. I wanted to have a good time. I knew that we weren't going to eat till later. Like, I knew I needed to fuel.
Yeah, I want like the croissants and like jam. Like I want
the fruits.
I want that morning to be special because. We're getting married at 12:30, but we're already on site.
Yeah.
So we wake up at 7. Realistically, we're probably going to be up at 7.
Yeah.
We can go for a little wander around the gardens.
Yeah.
Because we can.
Yeah.
We can have this lovely breakfast and then start getting ready because most of us are doing our own hair and makeup.
Yeah.
There's no waiting around for someone to do you next.
Yeah.
We can just get ready.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And but like things like that you can add to the morning of, like making it more sort of a thing, really.
That's what I want to make that morning / like special because you were so overwhelmed on yours. I know you enjoyed it.
Yeah,
but you just wanted to get going, didn't you?
I think and I've said this before, my downfall was that I didn't spend time with everybody individually.
Yeah.
I think I was so concerned about everybody else getting ready and being happy.
I think you were quite concerned about the boys getting ready.
Yeah, and at that point when you don't have like a coordinator, everything is on you and all the timings are on me, and I'm the one that had done all the timings, and everybody knew the timings, but trying to get a load of boys out of the when they weren't sure what time I told them that they needed to be at the venue for 9 and they needed to be ready, and
they were planning on that, but then they were like, we need to go.
But then there was that was the issue with the bus. That wasn't them, and it was just one of those things.
With my brain's gone blank. Oh, with your venue, did you go through and do like a timings of the day with them?
Yeah,
because that's what I know we've got on Saturday.
Yeah,
we've got our venue meeting, and
we had a final meeting with the venue, and in that we went through all the timings of everything, when we'd have to leave, when the photographer, videographer would get there.
That's what we're doing. Yeah,
like we literally went through everything because we only had a venue coordinator. So you can have a wedding planner. That's another way to sort of add to it. And a wedding coordinator on the day who sort of does everything and takes all the pressure off you.
If you'd have got married at your venue, do you think they might have been more involved with the timings of the first bit of the day?
I think so. I think they would have been more with me in the morning. But to be fair, they ran it so well, I didn't have to think about anything. And they were across everything really. I never had to worry about anything.
Yeah.
It just it was just I'd messed up my timings. It wasn't anybody else's fault.
No.
It was just one of those things. But I loved the morning of my wedding, and I just you get to a point, and you will be the same.
Yeah.
You get to the point where the whole anticipation of it, and you're in your dress and you're ready to go, and you just want to do it, but because you want to get in your dress early to get all the pictures taken and all of that kind of stuff. That's where all of the waiting around comes in, and it's inevitable, it's unavoidable, it's one of those things.
Yeah.
And that's when you're in your dress and you're ready to go. But for me, it was because I had to send you guys off earlier than I anticipated.
Yeah.
It was then okay, well now we're, me and Dad were just sort of waiting around for 10 minutes, and then we ended up just getting in the car and he just drove us an extra little bit.
Yeah.
Which actually ended up, it was as if we were coming from our old house.
Quite nice.
Yeah, so it was quite nice actually in the end. But anyway, that's not about bougie weddings really. But you can make the morning,
bougie.
With the pajamas, with the photos in the bed, with the Prosecco photos, all that kind of stuff. You can make it more of a thing.
Yeah.
What was I going to talk about next? Oh, I was going to talk about outfits. So as a bride, I chose to have cheap shoes because I didn't want my shoes to get ruined.
Yeah, same.
But you could have really lovely shoes that you then wear every anniversary, or you wear them for all your special occasions. You can make those shoes your special shoes.
Yeah.
So things like that, you can add to that kind of stuff where you make the little things more.
Yeah. Shoes, accessories,
jewelry.
you
can have the expensive jewelry,
bags.
Getting your hair and makeup done, that's something that neither of us wanted. I mean, I had my hair done, you're having your hair done, but it's by a friend. Outside, boys, outside. Yeah, it was by a friend, so it didn't feel like that really luxury. Obviously she's amazing and she did my hair brilliantly. But you don't have that. The hairdresser comes in because she was my bridesmaid, so she was going to be there anyway. And getting your makeup done and that pampering time essentially.
Yeah.
But all of that kind of stuff, the week before your wedding. Obviously, don't do anything new, but things like having a facial, having all your tanning and your waxing and your nails done, and I went and had my toenails and my fingernails done, which I never had my toenails done. But it was well, I want my toenails to look nice on my wedding day, so I'm going to have them done.
I'll start having mine done now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not quite that bougie, but there we go. Yeah, so you can ramp up your outfit, can't you, by adding in the bits and the bobs, the veils and all that kind of stuff, and sort of make it feel a little bit more bougie, I guess.
Yeah.
What else can we add?
Stuff, as in activities.
Yeah.
So like your garden games.
Yeah.
You can hire them.
Mini golf.
Yeah, making my own mini golf.
Yeah.
Love mini golf as an option. Another activity I've seen is people doing like bongos bingo.
Love that.
As part of the reception, as in food part.
Yeah.
Meal
part.
Yeah. Photo booths.
Yes, I would have loved a photo booth.
Yeah.
Just never got around to a photo booth.
So there's one that we can use, and again, I'm sure if we have money like close enough that we want to, we might add it on because it's already there. It's already theirs.
Yeah. But you can hire in those like amazing photo booths that are like, or the rotating camera ones.
Yes, the 360 ones. They're fun. But then I used one at a work event I was at recently, and once you did it once, it's a bit.
Yeah, but I guess you've got like 100 guests.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
Each, like,
that everyone wants to go in different groups and with the partner, with the friends, that kind of thing. So it is fun.
Yeah.
Our photo booth is in a caravan.
Yeah, I've seen a few of those. They're so cool. They are cool.
That's just trying to think of stuff you can do.
Like we've been to a wedding where there was a casino in the bit between dinner and the evening.
Yeah.
Again, magicians you can have then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you can make that sort of bit between the dinner and the evening, depending on how long it is between that gap. You can like fill that gap with something. I didn't feel like I needed it because my evening guests came so soon.
Yeah.
But you can, there's options to sort of fill it with things.
Yeah, absolutely. What else? We said about the live artists.
Yeah, I love a live artist. I think they're so
all the bits and bobs of your dance floor, like your glow sticks,
your
flip flops, your blow up like inflatable, but it's not very bougie, but it's more cost, isn't it?
Yeah. Adding things that sort of add to the day, I guess, is that kind of thing.
Is my thing.
I love a sparkler. Yeah, I love a sparkler.
Yeah, I've got my sparklers.
Yeah, I mean we were gonna do sparklers again, but it's just like one of those things that actually
you got
in
married
hindsight,
in May.
Yeah,
it was dark so late.
Yeah,
wouldn't have mattered.
It wouldn't have. Also with the sparklers, it wouldn't have. Like I can't think of a time. Like we would have done it, but I can't think of a time where you would have got not everyone, but
it would have added anything, would it?
No.
Whereas for us, I don't know that we're going to do everyone, but we might get the bridal party.
Yeah, that would be nice.
To get some nice pictures. Like photos. Yeah, we've already asked our photographer. She can do that.
Yeah, I love that. Like that idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's so many ways that you can add to a wedding. None of these you have to do. Like a lot of this we didn't do. But there's a lot of ways that you can add to a wedding to make it sort of more. And just sort of bring that like element of, I guess, elegance and glamour and fun, and there's so many ways that you can spin bougie.
Yeah, I think we're going from the bougie of stuff.
Yeah,
but then if I think of a theme of a bougie wedding, it would all be the same theming but more stuff.
And everyone in sleek black dresses to me is really bougie. Giving your guests a colour theme. I love that. Is like stuff like that where you're like enhancing the aesthetic is what I would call like bougie, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like it doesn't necessarily mean spending more money, it just means enhancing to make it like richer, the tones richer, like everything just more vibrant, more just more. Bougie to me is just adding more, and that doesn't need to be money. It can be aesthetic, it can be feeling, it can be tones, it like any sort of that kind of thing, but having that like real
Moorish
rampant, ramping it up.
Yeah.
Ramping it up with the different
wedding
things.
Wedding on steroids,
yeah. Which like you can do on a smaller budget.
Yeah.
But this podcast is obviously like looking at your bigger budget.
Yeah.
But because we don't have a lot of experience in that,
we don't have the big budget.
Yeah, there's only so much we can say, really.
Maybe we need a friend who's getting married on a big budget. I don't know anyone.
No, I don't know anyone at the minute. I'm sure I'll have friends who will be getting married on a bigger budget.
Yeah, when they come around.
Yeah, we'll get you in, and we'll get you talking about what you spent your money on.
Yeah, after the wedding.
Yeah.
And it's going to be Phil's friend, so I will be her +1, not Sam.
Yeah.
There's going to be
there are going to be some pretty bougie weddings with some of my friends. And I know I'm going to have a destination wedding, and I want a destination bride on the podcast.
Got 2 destinations weddings next year.
Oh, we need to nab one of them.
Yeah.
Get them on, talk about it. Because obviously we have no experience in that. we can only really talk about the weddings that we've been to, the weddings that we've planned. Like, you know, there's a limit to what we can talk about.
Yeah.
But obviously, we love weddings, clearly. We wouldn't be talking about it so much.
Does Wales count as a destination wedding?
Sure.
I've got 3 destination weddings.
Well, it's destination for you. Is it destination for them?
No, they live in Wales.
So then no.
Oh, okay.
If they were going to Wales, like, I love the idea of, like, when I used to work in a pub, I was talking to one of the customers, and his wedding was like a 3-day thing in Scotland, and they hired a castle.
Oh, that sounds so cool.
And they literally just were like, we're here from this day to this day. You can come any of the days. Obviously, the wedding day, you have to be there. But any of the other days, be there for as long or as short as you want to be. And they just made it this, like, event. And he said it was incredible. Like, it was so much fun. So, like, you can literally make it whatever you want it to be.
Yeah. Amazing.
Well, I think that's all of our knowledge on bougie weddings. It's very limited. Very limited.
We've blinded.
She's being blinded, so we must wrap up. She's got that glow right on her face.
I'm just gonna sit with my eyes closed for a second. I can't actually see it.
Anyway, I think that's it for this episode. She's struggling, so we are actually gonna go.
I should be bougie with my sunglasses on.
I know, yeah, you should. That would be bougie.
Let's sit like this.
Anyway, for now, I'm Philippa.
I'm Hayley.
This is Confetti Conversations, and we'll hopefully, if she can see,
I don't know if I can ever see you again.
see you next time. Bye.
Bye.